well, just one ad in one magazine to reach 38,000 people, or to potentially reach 38,000 people is six.
Now this is a story all about how
me and my friend Ash grew a social media advertising agency to where it is now.
First Monday of the month, February. All systems go today. Yeah, for us anyway, you get your hosting fees, yearly subscriptions and tax come in, which means that cash flow is tight this month, but it's not necessarily a defining problem. It just gives us a bit more oomph to make sure that the clients we're working with, we over-deliver for them to keep those relationships going longer and longer, make them happier. But then also the deals that are in the pipeline now, a bit more impetus to convince and close them and push them on and bring them in, because we've got a lot of things running. But for me, when bringing Ash in and paying another member of staff with, you've then got additional subscriptions and software fees and things like that, and Christmas, not forget Christmas where you want to treat family and friends, that you need to keep an eye on cash flow. And that's sort of a lesson that you only really learn once things get a bit trickier. So yeah, big week this week. Power mode, beast mode on. And it's February and I'm only wearing a hoodie. That's fucking great. So, on the road again.
We are going backwards.
Oh shit. Okay.
We need to head down that way and go
You
left.
sure?
Yeah. Look.
Oh yes.
Where are we off to now, Greeno?
Starting to take there's an interesting networking event in Putney. Ooh. So gotta give Ash a fucking reason to hand out his business cards and go on then. What's your spiel?
Ooh, so the first one, I'm going to say like, alright, obviously, hi, my name's Ash. I work for a social media advertising agency called Evergreen Growth Marketing. What we do is we help businesses grow through turning clicks into customers through social media advertising like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, WhatsApp. Also use Google as well.
So, gonna have a bit of a rant here, and I'm sure anyone who lives in Southwest London probably gets magazines similar to this through their door. It's not an attack on this magazine or the publishers, but we get them every month, and out of interest I was going to see who's advertising in this print magazine, and out of interest how much it costs to run an ad. And if I take a look, there's a lot of sort of home improvement ads, a lot of care homes, more care homes, schools in the local area. So you're really targeting sort of affluent middle-aged audience who are improving their home, probably got kids they want to send to the best school for their little darlings. They're building extensions, getting loft conversions, shutter windows. Is your child future ready? Coding camps for children. Private schools in Twickenham, open mornings for good schools. Call to actions, nice imagery. But let's have a look at how much it costs. And so the reach of this one, which is, I think it's from this same publisher, the reach of the people it's delivered to, so the maximum amount of people that could ever see this ad, if they care to open it, if they care to go to that page, and if they care to give a fuck enough to look at that ad, is 38,000 people. Okay, that's the maximum. So if everyone who gets delivered that paper looks at it, opens the paper, and sees the ad, that's the maximum amount you can reach. And for a half-page ad, here we go, a half-page colour ad for one ad is £660. But just one ad in one magazine to reach 38,000 people, or to potentially reach 38,000 people, is £660. That doesn't include the design, doesn't include the advertising, photography. Probably they'll charge extra for spell check and things like that, and to make sure it's the right sizing. But £660 for that one placement. Okay, if a quarter page, £410. A eighth of a page, £230. If you want a nice full page colour ad, they'll set you back £1,155. I'll put the screenshot here. I won't mention their names, but I'll screenshot their advertising rates. But good news. Good news. If you want to extend to the Richmond and Barnes edition, which again has an audience max of £38,000, you do still have to pay twice, but they'll give you a 10% discount if you want to go to 2, or maybe that's Kingston or Woking. Okay, so they've got a network of these things, and each ad, the minimum spend is £230. But so what I'm going to do here is, and I'll switch to recording my screen as I go through this, is I'll walk you through how easy, simple and targeted you could create an ad on Facebook to that same audience, but for much bigger and much more measurable results. 3, 2, 1. And this isn't a personal attack on the people selling the ads. Like, if you can sell these sorts of ads, apply within to info@evergreen.com, because if you can sell that, selling social media advertising will be a piece of piss. So, here we go. As you can see, I'm in this now, and I've just created this from a dummy account, is what Facebook Ads Manager looks like. And we're going to create a new audience. This audience, I can zoom in. It's, actually that's horrifically close to my actual address, so be careful of that. But I'm going to go, 10 kilometres from Wandsworth town. So if you go 10 kilometres from Wandsworth town, age 13 to 65 plus, really broad, and all genders, boom. And across all the different ad placements on Facebook and Instagram, you can see, 4.2 million people are active, okay? And this is, there we go. Camera's gone a bit haywire. There we go. And you see these estimated daily results? That's per day you're getting the reach and the actual clicks to wherever you're guiding them, estimated of that. But that's not good enough. That's just a carpet bomb of everywhere. And this is based off £50. Okay, so these are the results for £50. What about if we specify that to that half-page colour print? If we specify that to that half-page colour print, that's 660 quid. So let's just say we've set a daily budget of 660 quid. Bear in mind the maximum that you could reach with these print ads was 38,000. So if you just literally wanted to target everyone in Wandsworth, which most businesses wouldn't, because you've got a sort of very defined customer persona, here we go, we're comparing like for like. But let's go after, here we go. Let's just try parents. And Here we go. Right, that's reduced the audience somewhat. And probably to have parents with children, with primary school age children, and that other very important period, parents with preteens and parents with preschoolers. And let's untick this. So we're now going exclusively after parents within 10 kilometres of my front door. For £660, the potential reach is only 30,000. But you know for definite these are parents with kids in those right age brackets. And not only that is you're getting the exact reach of who you're going to reach in there. And the forecast clicks that this ad would return. However, maybe let's scale it up to 15 kilometres, just a bit wider. And not only can you go like this, is maybe I want to narrow this audience down because there's all parents, but not every parent can possibly afford private school, no. So would they also be shopping at Waitrose? Yeah. Let's go ones who are shopping at Ocado. Let's go for argument's sake, they like a bit of rugby. And let's go for argument's sake, yoga. What other interest property do we want to narrow down to? Childcare, because they're possibly working full-time jobs already. Right, so just to recap, let's go parents 24 to 45. So again, we're being much more targeted than ever possible by just shoving a magazine through someone's door. Bear in mind, I'm not a parent who wants to send their kids to private school. I'm not in a position just quite yet to send my parents into a care home. I don't own the house. I'm a renter, so I can't do any home improvements here. Yet I get this magazine every month. Here we have a very refined audience that for exactly the same price as would be in that magazine placement, we can reach a very defined audience, have the exact reach and the clicks forecast for us. But not only that is you could test 20, 100 different adverts to 10 different landing pages for that same amount of spend. Not only that, but let's see what budget's a bit tight. You don't want to spend £660 on one campaign. What if you just spend 30 quid a day? £30 a day, you can see that you probably get between 22 and 62 clicks each and every day, reaching approximately 5,000 people every day with a tailored ad on their newsfeed where their actual attention is whilst they're on the loo, on their commute, watching Netflix, is people are scrolling through their phones. So again, this isn't it is a rant, and it's more for people who are advertising month on month in magazines or print or billboards, and you're seeing fuck all in terms of what you're getting back. Why not try Facebook ads? And not only will you see bang for your buck in terms of the reach, and also the audience you're targeting could be micro specific. We can measure the exact clicks, the exact conversions, the sales, and the return on ad spend to every single step of the process. Unnamed print magazine advertising salesperson. Can you measure the exact amount of clicks that were generated to the website of business A with their ads? Print and sales advertising salesperson. Can you measure the exact number of eyeballs that even opened the page and saw the ad you sold to someone for multiples of hundreds, if not thousands of pounds? Can you measure the exact amount of people who converted into leads and potential customers?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And that's the end of that chapter.
So, one of the things we've started doing in 2020 is, off the back of, I think this is a problem for a lot of marketing agencies, is you have a great call, great meeting, and then the next step is well, yeah, send us a proposal of what you're thinking and your prices. And often, if there's a bit of time between those two dates, or when you're in the room, things are going well, but then you send a proposal and sometimes things are left a bit cold. And like I mentioned in the last vlog, we know when people have actually viewed the proposals and to what extent they've viewed them using our doc software. But what we start to do, and what I'm just about to record now, is a screen record using software called Loom.io, where we'll talk through the proposal we're sending a company as if we're in the room with them doing a pitch. Because in an ideal world, you'd be able to sit down, have a chat and have a coffee, talking through everything, every campaign, package and idea you send to a client or a lead. But that's just not realistic. Everyone's busy and it's not efficient. This is a great way, one, to get a bit more context behind what we're saying and make sure the message doesn't get lost in translation, but also provide a little more value and explanation. If what often happens is these ideas and proposals are getting shared internally because you're going to have to get other people to buy into the decision, it's a lot easier to get it straight from the horse's mouth than someone trying to explain to their boss or manager or the rest of the team ideas that can at first seem a bit difficult to explain. So yeah, I'm about to do that. So, like I said, as we spoke last week on how to scale up the social media advertising ahead of your sort of big 2.0 launch with new partners, investors coming to the business. You've ran ads before with some success, but admitted yourself they were sort of on the basic side and you were lacking that time to spend learning the discipline to scale it up and really push the boundaries of what's possible with this advertising platform. And rereading the first initial email you sent is you've already allocated your other agency doing PPC and SEO, which is great, and it would really, to complement both campaigns, is, I'll talk about it later, but those next steps to get in a room, all of us together, and make sure that the funnel and campaigns are all leading together would maximize returns. Because if we're creating ads to your perfect audience, we know a lot of them could be brought in via search and through a trackable funnel that will produce the leads that you want. And what I found quite interesting and promising is you want to focus on that educational content, lead magnets, and we know that using social media advertising to promote that content to the right people will build that awareness and trust with potential leads before closing. But equally as important, if you're guiding through this more sophisticated advertising funnel, you are qualifying out or disqualifying the people who aren't the type of investors you want in that higher quality leads. And you'll see what I'm on about in terms of some of the competitors' ads, how they are quite lazy with their advertising strategy, and this ultimately yields probably a poor quality of lead, even if they get an abundance of them. So we took a look really at some of the competitors that you mentioned to us. You can see there's the organic search traffic, which allows you to benchmark yourself versus them. The paid search traffic and the paid search monthly cost. So how much are these people spending on Google Ads monthly to a UK audience? And you can see there's quite a wide variety of spending, from ones like spending a couple of £100 to spending nearly 22 grand a month. And what's sort of alarming but attractive for you guys is there's a huge amount to spend monthly from people on who are running Google ads and guiding to a page without a Facebook pixel. So there's no opportunity. If they're paying, and in your industry paying sometimes £3, £4, £5 a click and more, if those people don't convert straight away, they've lost them and they can't retarget on Facebook at a more cost-effective price. So yeah, it sort of shows there's a lot of scope to hijack and replicate the best performing strategies for people. But as I go on, there's not a lot of real creative being done. Some people are dabbling in what we do, but not executing really to the full effect. To convince more investors into the business or partners, having this sort of intelligence on who else is out there can really help scale up. Okay, and in terms of enticing it, that headline and copy is nice and better than the others, but I'd assume unless retargeting, this doesn't share enough information for serious investors to straight away get involved. It's a route one basic ad, and it's there, it does a job, but it doesn't do the full job. What they're doing well is they are running a variety of different ads on Facebook and testing different copies and sort of ad creatives to blog style sales pages, which again, they're getting that first half of the approach right. They're very niche, focusing on student accommodation opportunities in Cardiff, comparing that to London, which seems from an outsider like a good angle. However, they're doing that first bit, but these landing pages aren't optimized for conversions, and you can, if you go through the funnel yourself and click to see more, you can see that then what happens. There's not an easy way to convert these. It is going to a blog page as opposed to a landing page designed for conversions that looks like a blog. There's no retargeting ads from what we can see unless they're guiding people back into this loop of a blog. So close, yet so far. The LinkedIn ads, again, very similar to best. And you did mention the other agency has experience in the market. If they're running all these, it seems that it's sort of doing a cookie cutter approach, and it's basic, it doesn't use the full breadth and opportunity that you can using ad platforms. And for us to look at ads like this from brands, it's great that they're there and they're dipping their toe in, but there's so much more that can be done. This landing page, though, is a bit stronger. You can tell it's designed from that digital marketing and direct customer acquisition, like headspace. A bit like your website, is you know what you're on about and want to get out of someone who gets on that page. It actually has a Facebook pixel, which some of them don't, and is a decent example of optimizing a landing page for collecting leads. However, no real specific retargeting ads for specific stages of the funnel. And what I mean by that is you're creating bespoke ads, ideally with you in it, explaining why this is a great investment to get them over the line, because people are all going to be in different stages of that funnel, and we need to create bespoke ads to nudge people through, especially with a high value product. Because it's a high value product, typically that means there's a bit more of a decision making process behind it, and it's not a going on and buying a t-shirt from Amazon or whatever it might be. Eventbrite page. It's a free seminar on how to invest in properties. It's a good idea, and perhaps they're missing a trick here by not advertising to a landing page with a few different events. Maybe it's the first one, so they don't want to take a risk, I don't know. But what's disappointing is they're doing this on LinkedIn, which typically in terms of CPMs and cost per clicks and cost per conversions is a lot higher than Facebook and Instagram. And this indicates or hints to me that they don't have the pixel integrated into Eventbrite, meaning they can't retarget. Because if you're paying to get people to that Eventbrite page, and you're paying £3, £4 a click, maybe more, maybe less, some people need a bit of a nudge and a follow-up to actually convert into attending. It's another good example of a concept without the full execution. And what really set this off, obviously, is creatives, videos, images of previous events and people attending them and saying, got great information, great results, and it just builds up trust and authority because so in summary, I can whiz through this, but what should be the main takeaway is it's really promising because people are spending a lot month on month on ad campaigns that aren't properly executed. So this shows that they're probably getting decent results and yielding a good return on investment without really fucking doing it properly. So if you come in this industry right now, we're looking at it from an outside as an agency who know the opportunities and possibilities, it's right for someone to come in and execute properly. So people are spending 4 to 5 figures a month on Google ads to pages without a Facebook pixel. You can just bid on the same terms as them and yield a greater success and conversion rate because we're guiding to an optimized landing page and retargeting them on the platforms that are cheapest to retarget on. There's a lack of video or bespoke ads to people in the funnels. Most are stock imagery and don't stop someone from scrolling. There's no like pattern interrupt. Then me and Ash would love to come and get in the room with you, either host you at Putney or we can come to you and just go a bit more into depth in how you can take advantage. Because like I said, the good news is no one is utilising these platforms effectively and successfully. You need to have high quality attention online, specifically in this industry with you want that niche, sophisticated investor with cash coming in and you're getting on the phone with them. Here is basically our model in terms of a customer funnel, and it's making sure everything's aligned to pull people through. We're using the best digital marketing techniques to phone, but everything else you're doing, whether you're getting PR magazines, your SEO, you're speaking at events, you're running organic social media, you might have influencers or partnerships, affiliate marketing, podcasts, whatever, all of that is going through the cohesive funnel and generating leads for you at the back end. And that's why it would be really good to sort of engage with your PPC and SEO agency to make sure everyone's aligned, rather than what we have seen with other agencies and other clients before is there's 2 marketing agencies competing because they want to win all the budget, but if we're working together, your business will grow and there's more budget for the agencies because we're producing more successful campaigns. Simple lead magnet campaign. Like I said before, there's some examples in the industry, but not executed to the best potential because we want to give a lot more value to these customers. One, in terms of educating them, but more importantly, eliminating the low quality leads. Okay, with retargeting adverts through each stage of the sequence, we can ensure that the people who read the blog post or to the lead magnet opt-in page convert. Then it's really around how that lead magnet, those nurture emails after we've delivered the ebook, video, free report, whatever it might be, build that trust and awareness in you as a person and the product you're selling. And it can go with a call to action straight to book a call in your diary, which could be the most effective way. As we know, these nurture emails is sent from Nick, and short, snappy, personality, and that's as if it's coming from you personally emailing them. And the objective is to get more calls in your diary, and that's how we'd measure success of this campaign. Then it's a very different prospect to you chasing after the phone number that you got from a lead gen ad on Facebook without much context or description behind it. These people already feel like they know you, they want to chat to you, and they already know the product. They're ready to buy. What we can do is retarget people with your YouTube ads and videos based on their Google search queries. Because Google owns YouTube as a platform, is if you're creating that content and we're already bidding on sort of the search terms, we can provide a much richer context and richer media format to build trust with people who are in buyer mode already. That doesn't sound great because when the next time they log onto YouTube, 24 hours after they've been searching what is a property loan note or for one of your competitors, they're seeing you describe the property loan note as an investment vehicle and the opportunities you've got right now. Big impact exposure and really one looking customer for life, is you're going to have a huge database of marketing leads, and we can ensure that these are from your target audience, and it's a bit more incentive because they feel like they're getting a win and with the chance of getting something, as opposed to going straight into have a call with us. It's sort of a Trojan horse in there. I mean, obviously the bigger the giveaway, the more viral the competition, the more free PR, and the more leads you'll generate. And what's good is you could run this for say 30 days, and if it's going really well, you can increase the prizes or give out more runners-up prizes, thus encouraging. The recommended online advertising budget for these packages is completely flexible and up to you. And these are just our sort of recommendations of what could work. Really, I think what we should look at is that middle package in terms of growth, because it allows us to handle a lot more of the post-click experience. And we can, if there's specific things you need or don't need or want to try for a month, let's create a bespoke plan for you. And learning more about those other markets, perhaps if we need to replicate landing pages and funnels and sequences for specific languages, that's something to talk about. And that's really the make or break of the success of your advertising. Is great if you run some basic ad campaigns with minimal testing to a target audience, you'll probably generate some leads, but then you'll have the hard yards in your office yourself, filtering through the quality of them, and it's going to be a harder sell on the phone. What we want to do with you is build a much more richer, optimized experience end-to-end in a funnel to give you a better quality of lead, and then it's happy days in your office because you're talking to people who are already educated and already pre-sold on the product. And the setup time really depends on your involvement, and how we like to do this more is there'd sort of be a checklist of what we need access to and agreements, and then run through that and have a big intense morning or call where we dig deep in terms of who your dream customer is, what assets we want created, what's the delineation of responsibilities and producing those assets, and we can crack on and get to work to get things up and running ASAP. Sometimes we can get ads up and running from agreement in 48 hours, but with the more complex funnels it can take a few more days, but it's really up to the time that we spend with the client face to face, getting in-depth knowledge of the product and the audience yields a lot more success straight up front, especially with something like yours. Like, it's just interesting to know because it's a new area for us. Then, as I said before, the advertising budget is flexible, so let us know throughout the months whether you want to tone up, tone down, whether you've got upcoming bills, whether you want to, these are working great, let's increase this month. And it's just going to be up to us to allocate them best on the different platforms. And of course, we'll be there and we want to be involved on having an input to your organic content and the future video and educational content you've got, because we want to be side by side with you in terms of making this work. Because I know there's other agencies out there where they'll happily take your money for a basic 3 to 6 months and it will perform okay until a point where you're like, this isn't a game changer. Is the better we can have these campaigns work for you specifically, and the more buy-in, the bigger your business grows and the bigger your account grows with us, and the more we can be proud to say, boom. This one in, because I think this is more for new advertisers who haven't really spent anything on social media platforms and digital advertising, is there's sort of a very distinct pattern of 90 days in the journey of social media advertising, where you kick off and it's a new shiny thing, and day 21 to 40, because we're doing so much testing on ads, there's sort of doubt. And then once we can prove a lot of the testing on creatives, audiences, imagery, copy, lead magnets, and we've blown through that area, we're starting to basically give you consistent, repeatable, predictable profit and high quality leads. What do you think? Be good to get your take on those competitors and what angles you can see to intercept them and produce a lot more value-driven content. If you want to click to see some of our case studies, just got to click there. There's a few of our recent ones in there from the back end of 2019. I hope this helps get across some more of the context and ideas behind this deck, and yeah, speak soon. So yeah, I'm not sure how much of that I'll like the Cherry Bay painting. That's our landlords. Shout out Cherry Bay and Pasha for all the people who, when they're teenagers, went somewhere abroad. Yeah, that was me in full flow. I'll see how much of that I've got to blur out. That was, oh, it was a bit long. But yeah, catch you soon. Hard at work or hardly working?
In between. So yeah, so he was going, oh yeah, but if I post on Facebook, I was like, no, like I'm not telling you to organically post on Facebook or share your business page with other people or your friends, because that's not going to get you anywhere. I was in terms of what you could do is you could advertise people in your area, like 2 kilometres in Surrey, people looking for like boilers being, new boilers being installed.
Exactly, yeah. And how much has he spent on the website?
Over £1,000.
And still fuck all people are
Well,
going to click on it.
if you get a new website, but you're not building things around it to people to go into the website, like it's getting like 2 people visit a month, and that when you try and speak to them, it's like if you're doing this or that. But I think the knowledge around the social media aspect isn't great, and that's not being mean horrible. I think they look at it as
like a silver bullet, or like this
like
magic
just
pin.
when you post, for example, like it's like just they think that's a post. I actually had that conversation with someone at we went to at Ruston Park. Like she's like, oh yeah, I post and all that. I was like, I don't. It's like, but what?
You post, but it's not doing anything.
Yes, I know, but it's like, how do you explain that? It's like, oh, I post it. It's like, no, what we do is we do paid ads, so they're paying, so you're targeting specific more people, buyers. Not just someone just, I don't know, just doing it so your friends see it, because your friends aren't going to care. You probably got maybe one friend that might be interested in your business, but they're not your target audience.
And they might not be on that day, and it might not reach you.
That's normally our little pattern goes. Someone applies for a call, link description, blah, 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 to work with us. We find a bit more about their company, have a call with them, see what their current marketing campaigns look like, whether they're happy with them and want to scale up, or whether they don't have a fucking clue what social media advertising is and how it works. We'll send across some ideas that we like the look of and we think could work for them, along with a bit of an analysis on the competitors in their industry that they've identified, and like the next steps of how it would work from there with us, whether that's us managing their ads month on month as a retainer, and landing pages, automated emails, creating the lead magnets, etc., or if they just want a one-off session of how to run the ads themselves. So if it's not clear what you should do already, as a very vivid example to all those small businesses spending on print ads, that's where you should go with it. But yes, Wandsworth Council, I am recycling. You're choosing the ball and you're choosing the shitty EA Sports one.
The EA Sports are the best ones.
No.
Fly off. They have looked it up. They say use the EA Sports ball. You score great goals apparently.
Bullshit.